Let's get more analysis on Isaac Herzog's visit. The ABC's Global Affairs Editor Laura Tingle joins us now from Sydney. Laura, fair to say, very mixed opinions on this visit.
There are, Gemma. I think it was a very well-intentioned invitation by the Prime Minister, looking in those terrible days after December 14 for ways of showing support to the Jewish community in the wake of the massacre in Bondi. But obviously there are a lot of pro-Palestinian supporters who don't want to see the Israeli president here. But also there's divisions in the Jewish community as well, and we've seen the Jewish Council of Australia place ads in the newspapers today with the signatories, 1,000 signatories of members of the Jewish community saying that President Herzog doesn't speak for them. And what this comes down to, Gemma, is really the issue of how the really fraught issues of the killing of a bunch of Australians in Bondi because they're at a Jewish festival, intersects with the fraught politics in the Middle East, and the question of how you sort of keep these issues separate. Obviously, President Herzog is a contentious figure because of the finding by a UN Commission of Inquiry last year that he had been found to have incited genocide. But more broadly, I think it's this question of the extent to which this has really raised the issue of Israeli actions, the actions of the Israeli government, and to what extent that may have escalated the tensions that we ended up seeing in Bondi. And that's been something that people have been trying to avoid linking until now. But President Herzog's visit has, to a lot of people, brought that issue right into the centre of the focus.
Yeah, it's such a delicate situation. How has the government responded to that criticism of the visit?
Well, I think they've just been appealing. We've heard Penny Wong, for example, last week, appealing for people to understand why the visit is taking place, that it's essentially trying to offer support to the Jewish community in such fraught circumstances. And a lot of Jewish people do welcome President Herzog's visit because they say it is seen as a sort of an embrace of their community. It's showing that support that they need so much after this terrible incident. But I think probably the government didn't anticipate just how divisive that this visit may prove to be.
And Laura, we touched on this a moment ago, but this, of course, is such a heightened time of trauma for the Palestinian community here and others.
It is, and I mean, we've seen this position now where, we've had a ceasefire in Gaza, but Israel is now occupying between 50 and 58% of the Strip and has been demolishing everything behind the so-called yellow line. It continues to expand into the Western Bank illegally, and there's also been a heightened number of acts of violence against Palestinians within Israel itself. And I think this has all just heightened the trauma and raised the question of where policy goes in terms of, not just in terms of Israel and what it's doing in the Palestinian territories, but also where is Australian foreign policy going to end and go next, given this sort of uneasy truce in the Middle East.